Hello everyone, and welcome to the RV Inspection and Care podcast and video. And today we're going to be talking about more vehicles that you can flat tow behind an RV or motorhome. A couple of months ago I made a video about flat towing vehicles and it became very popular. I covered the ones that are the most popular ones out there, and sure enough, that was a great list for a lot of people. But I got a lot of requests for more flat towable vehicles as well. So that's what we're going to cover today. But before we get started, let me invite everyone who's listening to subscribe to the podcast, and that way you don't miss any of the great episodes coming up. Also, please visit my website at rvinspectionandcare.com. There's tons of articles and videos there all about RVs and RV life. Now let's get back to this subject about more vehicles that you can flat tow behind your RV or motorhome. Now the ones I'm going to cover today are vehicles that are pretty much made within the last 5 years or so. So they're recent vehicles. There's a lot more that are older ones, but we just don't have the time to cover all of them. Keep in mind too that not all versions of these models I'm going to talk about are flat towable. Some are, some aren't. So it's going to require a little bit of homework on your part to determine what is flat towable and what isn't. But we'll talk about that after we cover the list. So let's go ahead and get started on the list right now. And first on our list is Buick. We're going to start to go through the list alphabetically, and we'll start at the B's. Buick makes a really nice smaller SUV called the Envision. So if you're looking for something smaller but has a lot of nice features to it, the Envision could be a very good choice. Now let's move to our next manufacturer in the C's, and that's Chevrolet. And they make a few vehicles as well that are flat towable. Let's start with the Sonic. Now the Sonic is one that I heard a lot about in the comments on my last video. A lot of RVers said, hey, we use the Sonic and it's really great. Sure enough, it's a small, great economy car. So that would be a great way to go. But now if you want to go to the other end of the spectrum from the Sonic, you might want to tow something heavier. But maybe you don't want to tow one of the big trucks like we mentioned in the last video. Well, then Chevy makes the Suburban. And the Suburban is a big SUV. It's got all kinds of features and luxuries. So it would be a great thing to tow. Just make sure that your hitch and your engine can handle that kind of weight. And next on the list is the Chevrolet Traverse. Now, the Traverse is a larger SUV, but it's nowhere near as big as the Suburban. It has a lot of nice little features and luxuries in it too. So if you want something bigger, but not quite as big as a truck or say a Suburban, well, then the Traverse could work very well. Let's move on our list. The next manufacturer also makes several models that are flat towable, and that's Ford. Ford, actually, the one we're going to start with first is one that's almost a brand new model. It actually has a history that goes back many years, but they've reintroduced the Bronco. And the Bronco's only been out for a couple of years, and the Bronco is a great alternative to the Jeep line of vehicles, especially like the Wrangler. So if you want something that will take you off-road, it'll take you out in trails and off in places where you like to get away, well, then the Bronco could be a very good choice for you. Next on Ford's list is the Ford Edge ST. And it's a smaller, sporty little car. So maybe you like to have a little sporty car to run around in while you're parked in one place, and the Edge ST could be a very good choice for that. Next up is a smaller SUV, the Escape Hybrid, and I heard about this as well in the last video's comments, that folks are using them to very good advantage. Again, it's a smaller SUV, So there's going to be pretty good gas mileage and economy that comes with it. And finally, Ford makes the Fusion Hybrid too. Again, a smaller, sportier type of car. And if that is what you're looking for, it could be just the ticket. Moving on our manufacturer list is GMC. Now, GMC makes a vehicle that is very similar to the Chevrolet Suburban in almost every way. It's the Yukon. Once again, if you're looking for something bigger, something that can really take a lot of people around and you've got a lot of cargo area in the back, well, then this could be a very good choice for you. So consider the GMC Yukon. Next on our list is Lincoln. Lincoln actually makes a passenger vehicle that is flat towable. That's the MKZ Hybrid. Now, most of what we're talking about in this list is about SUVs and really smaller cars. Well, in this case, Lincoln has made a really nice passenger car or sedan that is towable. So consider that as well. Next on our manufacturer list is Nissan. And Nissan makes a couple of models that are flat towable. First of all, we'll talk about the Sentra S. Again, small car, very good gas mileage and so on. So it would be a very good choice because it's lighter. Next up is the Nissan Versa S. And again, a smaller car, but a little bigger. And it has a lot of features in it as well, but very economical to drive. So those are the manufacturers and models I wanted to cover with you today. Finally, let me mention this. Also remember that many manual transmission vehicles out there are flat towable as well. Some may not be, but a very large percentage of manual transmission vehicles are flat towable. So just check the manual before you buy it, but make sure that it is flat towable, but don't forget them. The thing is that they seem to be making fewer and fewer of these manual transmission vehicles year after year. So you might have to hunt a little bit, but it could be a very good choice for you if you know how to drive a manual transmission vehicle. Now, a couple things I want to cover with you about some homework you need to do if you're thinking about flat towing a vehicle. Number one, before you buy anything, make sure you read that owner's manual first for that particular vehicle. Almost every vehicle, there's an owner's manual that can be downloaded somewhere online. So get it, go through it, see what it says about towing. Make sure that it says it can be flat towed before you buy it. If you're still in doubt, talk to your car dealer or even call the manufacturer. That can be done. They're happy to talk with you about these situations. They want you to be happy with the vehicle. So it is a way to get more information. Also, make sure there are base plates available for the vehicle that you're going to buy. A base plate is what you put on the vehicle to attach to the tow bar to be able to tow that vehicle. Well, some base plates are more popular than others, and so some may not even be in stock, especially with the supply chain issue that we had these days. So before you buy, again, make sure that it is flat towable, then make sure that the base plate is available for it. Otherwise, you're going to sit for a while with no capability of towing until that base plate becomes available. Finally, match your vehicle to the hitch. Make sure that you're not overloading the hitch on your vehicle, on your RV or your motorhome, and then make sure that you're well within the towing capacity of the RV as well. Now, if you do all of these things, if you go through and, you use the list we've talked about and you've done your research online, maybe found some other models as well, and you've found the one that's right for you, you've made sure that it is flat towable, you've got the base plate lined up as well, and all of these issues are taken care of, well, then you could have a great flat towable vehicle at that point that will take you anywhere you want to go in your RV travels. Well, that's it for now. Have safe and happy travels, my friends. Until next time.